Hey guys, welcome back for another short flow. So just like our other short flow from this week, we are going to be working into the shoulders, but this class we're going to be getting into the hips as well. These are two parts of the body that hold a lot of tension and for a lot of people can get pretty tight. So we want to make sure that we build some heat before we create some length. So we'll get started straight away in a comfortable seat, on your knees, cross-legged. Just a few breaths here. Lengthening through the spine, breath down into the belly. Allowing it to be fluid, knowing that this breath is what's going to carry us throughout the practice. Start to drop right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, then let the crown of the head roll back 2 more times this way, rolling through the neck. Move as slowly as you need to. If there's any sticky spots, hang out. Then 3 the other direction. Those 3 circles. We're going to move through some seated cat-cows. So start to bring your hands to your knees. As you breathe in, squeeze your shoulder blades, open up through your chest, allow your hands to slide up your thighs as you look up. Then tuck your chin to your chest, hands move towards the knee, push the upper back away, and keep this going with your breath. Squeeze shoulder blades, expand the chest as you breathe in. Round over as you breathe in. Open up, expanding through that front line on the inhale. 1 more time, close over, breathe. Start to bring your hands towards the mat, come into a tabletop shape. You're going to stabilize through the wrists, through the shoulders, through the hips. So we're going to start by grounding down through the right knee. The left knee is going to come out to the side at a 90-degree angle. Then start to rotate the knee back, sole of the foot towards the sky. Drop it down. Out to the side, breathe in, start to rotate back. Let it meet the right as you breathe out. Just 1 more on the left. Knee back at the earth. Then we take it on the right side. The knee comes out to the side. Let it rotate back and down to the earth as you breathe out. 2 more times like this, trying to keep your hips square, allowing this articulation to come from the acetabulum, the hip joint. Just 1 more. Knee back down. Cool. Take a breath in. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the legs. First down dog of the day. Just make sure those movements are deliberate, they're intentional. You take whatever ones you need, whichever ones are going to serve you. Start to find some stillness. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need, as long as you're spinning the sitting bones up. Take a breath out, find some stillness. If you haven't already, make sure the hands are really grounded. We're going to start to ripple forward on a breath in. Land in your high plank, bend through the knees, down dog, breathe out. Ripple forward 2 more times. Use the whole breath in, bend the knees. Down dog 1 more time, ripple forward. Land in that high plank, we're going to stay here. As always guys, if you need to, shift the weight forward, drop the knees. Just make sure there's that core engagement, that straight line. No matter where we are, we're going to work through just 5 shoulder push-ups. Now what that looks like, guys, is start to lower down, keeping the arms strong, then push the ground away, expanding that space between the shoulders. 4 more. Lower down, keep the arms straight, push up. Lower down as you breathe in. Push up, breathe out. 2 more. 1 more. Push down as you breathe out, drop the knees. Little roll out of the wrists. We're going to move straight into our flow from a high plank. And guys, we're going to be on our hands a little bit, so make sure they're really, really engaged. Like squeezing the mat, fingertips starting to lose the blood, squeezing engagement. So start to bring your hands to the mat. Come to that high plank. This is where we're going to start our flow. Take a breath out. As you breathe in, round the right hand, left arm rises. As always, drop that bottom knee if you need to. Yeah. But if you notice whether the knee's on the ground or if it's not, there is a straight line. Yeah, the hips are still lifted. We still want to engage these obliques as well as stabilizing through the grounded shoulder. Take 1 more breath in, really slowly and controlled. We're going to start to step this left foot towards the front of the mat as you breathe out and land in a lizard lunge on the inhale. And just like that side plank, you can drop the back knee down if you need to. Just make sure there is still that straight line. Whatever point is on the ground through the crown of the head is a straight line. So in this case it's the knee. We're not letting the hips shift back. We still want to open up. So whether knees down or toe is down, we want a straight line through the crown of the head. 1 more breath in here. Now we're going to start to drop the back knee down if you haven't already. Start to straighten through that left leg. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight. We're coming into a half Hanuman shape. So we want to think chest towards the toes. Guys, here we don't want to be rounding over through the lower back. Anytime we fold forward, we want to think sitting bones back. Keep the lower back neutral. That's what's going to keep the sensation in the hamstring where we want. Take 1 more breath out. Shift back forward, breathe in. Plant the hands, chaturanga. So you're going to step that back. You can float it if you want to. Up dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Start to ripple forward. We'll move to the other side. So take a breath out. Ground that left hand. Right arm rises up. Breathe in. Remember, you can keep the bottom knee down. Just make sure the hips are high and there's a straight line through the body. Now, normally when we are on our hands, we're using the heel and your index and middle finger to catch the weight in this shape. Because our body is most likely to shift side to side, we're using thumb and pinky finger. Take 1 more big breath in. Slow and controlled that right foot steps forward as you breathe out. Keep the collarbones pulling forward, opening up. The hips start to sink down. 1 more breath in. Drop that back knee. Start to take the hips back. Think right hip crease going back. Right sitting bone towards the back of the room. Try and keep your chest up. And we want to think anytime we fold forward, this V shape hinging at the hips. Remember, you don't have to be perfectly straight through that front leg. You can have a little bend. Just think chest forward no matter where you are. Take 1 more breath out. Start to shift forward, breathe in. Step back, chaturanga. You can float the right leg lower down, but instead of going through up dog, we're just going to push back up to a high plank and start our flow straight away from here. So take a breath out. Round the right hand, side plank, breathe in. We're moving 1 breath, 1 movement. Start to step the left foot up as you breathe out. Lizard lunge, opening up through the chest on the inhale. Back knee down, straighten through the left leg, breathe out. Chest comes back forward, breathe in. Push down through the hands, lift up on the back toe, chaturanga, breathe out. We're going straight up and to the left side, side plank, inhale. Slowly the right foot moves forward. Use the whole breath. On the exhale, open up the chest, breathe in. Back knee down, start to straighten slowly on the breath out. Move back forward on the in. Chaturanga, we're going to lower down as you breathe out. Come straight up, land in our high plank. Drop the knees, roll the wrists out. I know this is a really tough one on the hands, on the shoulders, so we're going to take a little break. Now we're going to flow through 2 more times, yeah? 2 more times either side. So start to bring hands to the earth, land in that high plank. Take a breath out. The right hand is grounding down, side plank, breathe in. Slowly step the left foot up on the exhale. Lizard lunge, open up chest, breathe in. Back knee down, half Hanuman, breathe out. Back to that lizard lunge. You can keep the knee down if you want to, or lift up. But we're moving through a chaturanga on the breath out. Push up straight to the left side, side plank, inhale. Right foot steps up, lizard lunge. Take a full breath in. Half Hanuman, the back knee down. Think right hip crease towards the back of the room. Back to that lizard lunge, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. We're going to go straight to the other side. So lift up, right hand down, side plank, breathe in. Then with control, left foot forward, breathe out. Lizard lunge, hips sink down, chest opens, engage the right glute. Then drop the right knee down, half Hanuman. Move back forward, breathe in, really expand through the front line. Step back, chaturanga, lower down. Push back up, side plank. Right arm lifts towards the sky. Step the right foot up really slowly as you breathe out. Lizard lunge in. Engage the left glute now. Then drop that left knee down, half Hanuman. Breathe out. Start to come back forward. Length through the crown of the head on the in. Step the foot back. Chaturanga, breathe out. Push up to a high plank on the in. Downward facing dog. Cool. Alright, so from here, take an exhale. Start to come high up on the toes. Bend the knees as you breathe out. Now you can walk, step, or maybe you try and float forward to Malasana, feet to the edges of the mat, into a yogi squat. Now here, if you've done our classes before, you know India and I both teach, we'd rather see you up here and really strong than all the way down here and slumped over. Yeah, we want to be at a point where we're opening up through the hips and really long through the spine. Once you've found that shape, you can start to bring your hands to your heart. Elbows to the inside of the knees, taking them out to the side, expanding through the chest. We're pretty warm through the shoulders, through the wrists, so the option here, you can stay in Malasana as always, but the bus stops go here, or hands start to come out in front. Hips lift up. We're moving towards crow pose or Bakasana, Kakasana, depending on where you go. Knees towards armpits. Maybe this is it for you. Maybe it's just feeling weight into the hands, or maybe you start to keep shifting forward, shift forward. Magically, one toe comes off, then two. Once they're off the ground, hug them up towards your hips. Now here guys, look forward. Your body is going to go wherever your eyes go. Yeah, so if you start to look back, head's going to want to come to the ground. Good. And just play around with this for a while. Yeah, if you've never tried it before, these recorded classes are a beautiful opportunity for arm balances because you can pause, you can go back, you can rewind, do whatever you need to do. But when you're ready, start to move back to Malasana. Roll out the wrists. From here, start to lift back up. Halfway lift, the feet are going to come back in. Think about taking sitting bones away from the crown of your head. Then plant the hands, chaturanga. Breathe out. Up dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. We land here again. Start to ripple forward. And then as slowly as you need to, lower down towards the earth. Now here guys, we're going to come into is an open chest stretch. So you're going to take your right arm out at 90 degrees. Elbow in line with shoulder, if not a little bit higher. Start to roll towards the right side using that left arm. To make sure we keep this sensation through the chest, think about taking your right shoulder blade down your back towards your hips. Keep that right hand engaged. Just a few more breaths here. Start to roll back to center. The left arm comes out, elbow in line with shoulder. Start to open up. Back towards center, no fancy transition now. Just push yourself up to a seat. Start to bring your left shin parallel with the front of the mat. Your thigh is going to start to come forward. Now from here you're going to take your right shin, the ankle's either going to come on top of the left knee. If this is too much for you, totally fine. It's the case for a lot of people. You're just going to bring that right shin in front of the left. We're creating a box shape, yeah? So shins parallel with hips, trying to get the thighs parallel with each other. This may be enough for your hips, yeah? If you want a little bit more, think about lengthening through the spine and then gently folding forward. Don't worry about how deep you get. Worry about sensation. If you feel it in the outer hips, you're perfect where you are. Just a few breaths to release. One more breath. Slowly start to lift back up and then switch over sides. Now the right shin is in closer. You can take the left on top. Guys, and notice one side may be totally different to the other. If that's the case for you, awesome. It's just something beautiful to be aware of. So shin on top or just in front of. Again, we're trying to create this box shape. So you're sitting cross-legged, but your shins are like weirdly far away from your hips. It's going to feel a bit strange if you've never done it before. Find that length and start to release forward. And release as much as you can. The hips hold so much tension. Take one more round of breath here. Slowly start to come back up. What I'm going to do now, start to bring your hands behind you, bend your knees, bring your feet out to the edges of the mat. And all we're going to do is rinse side to side. Internal rotation of the hip. And just allowing this full articulation, this full range of movement. Just 3 more breaths. Try and keep your chest up and your spine straight. 1 more round. Move the legs out in front. It's a Paschimottanasana, 2-legged forward fold, so length through the spine, chest towards toes. Bend your knees if you need to. Remember, we want that hinging at the hips, so we want the lower back flat. Come to your depth. Once you've found that, once you're strong and stable, engaged to the lengthening, then you can start to round over. Don't worry about what this shape looks like for you, as long as you're feeling sensation in the belly of the hamstring muscle. If you're not, think about straightening through the spine, chest towards toes, bend your knees if you need to. One more round. Start to roll back up. Lay down on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep your shoulders where they are. Let both knees fall over to the right side. Every time you breathe out, the knees get a little heavier, the shoulders get a little heavier. This twist becomes more encompassing. Just 2 more full rounds. Releasing with every exhale. Moving back through center, the knee to the left side. Shoulders stay heavy. About letting go. This is a beautiful physical example of what it feels like to release every breath out. Stay for a few more full rounds. Slowly back to center. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees out wide, let gravity do the work here, let gravity open up through the inner hips. With a little more opening for the upper half, you can clasp your elbows, take them over your head. ready, legs go out long, arms down by your side. Land in Shavasana. Final resting pose. Even with this short flow, it's important to close it out. The reason we move is so we can be comfortable in the stillness. We open up our body, get it ready to receive whatever it needs to receive. Close your eyes down. Sink down into the earth. Stay here for as long as you need. Stay in this stillness. As long as your body tells you. Whenever you're ready, start to move towards a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart, gently bow your head. Whenever you get there, take a moment to acknowledge your practice. As always, I leave you with Maharaji left, Ram Dass, love everybody, tell the truth. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. As always, if you have any feedback, if you want to reach out to us, please do. We love hearing from you. We'll see you next time.